Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be unboxing and doing a hands-on review of the Moto G31. Now here's the box. This phone is available in two variants. Base variant is priced at 12,999 and it comes with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Next variant is priced at 14,999 and it comes with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. It's available in two colors, Meteor Grey and Baby Blue. We have the 4GB variant in the Meteor Grey color. Now with that said, the main highlights for this phone would be its amazing AMOLED display, a 50MP camera, Helio G85 processor, bigger battery with fast charging. It basically has everything that you can ask for under 15,000 rupees and comes with stock Android and Moto gestures. So without any further delays, first let's have a quick unboxing. So once again, here's the box. On the front, we just got the Motorola logo. Towards the bottom, it says Moto G31. On the side, it has the branding and the pricing information. On the back, we have some of the highlighting features and some more information. Now let's unbox it. First, we have the phone itself, which comes with a case on, which is pretty good. Next, we have the separator, which we'll come back to later. Next, we have a 20-watt turbo charger. And finally, a USB Type-C charging cable. Now inside the box, we get the SIM card ejector along with some documentation. Now back to the phone, we got some stickers with the same highlights like the display, camera, battery. Let me just remove the sticker. Now this is how the phone looks on the front and this is how the phone looks on the back. Now let's have a physical overview. On the back, this phone has a plastic back panel with a nice pattern to it, which definitely adds for grip and definitely prevents smudges. At the top, we got the triple camera setup along with single LED flash, followed by a circular fingerprint scanner with the Moto branding. On the front, we have a huge display with a punch hole design. Above the display, we just got the earpiece and some sensors, and below the display, it's completely plain. As for the chin, considering the price, I would say it is pretty decent. Now for the sides, on the right side, we got three buttons. The first one at the top is a dedicated button for Google Assistant. Following that are the volume buttons and the power button. All the buttons are made of plastic, they have a nice clicky feel to them, and they are sufficiently elevated. At the top, we got the audio jack, followed by the secondary microphone for noise cancellation. On the left side, we got the SIM card tray, housing a nano SIM slot, along with a hybrid SD card slot. So you can either use two nano SIMs or a nano SIM and an SD card, not all three at once. By the way, if you're a heavy user, I would recommend you to get the 128GB variant. Now finally at the bottom, we got the primary microphone, followed by the USB Type-C charging port and the speaker grill. Now this phone has a thickness of 8.45mm and weighs 180 grams. In hand, it feels pretty sleek and weighs pretty light in hand. This is probably one of the few phones out there which actually comes with a 5000 mAh battery but is also sleeker and also weighs around 180 grams. So when it comes to the thickness of the phone and the weight, I'm really impressed. Now this is how the phone looks with the free silicone case that we got inside the box. Once again, it's just a basic entry-level case. It gives you some extra grip and prevents smudges, that's all, not too much in terms of protection. Now with that said, these are the complete specifications of this phone. On the rear, this phone has a triple camera setup with a 50MP primary camera with f1.8 aperture, followed by an 8MP ultra-wide-angle camera and a 2MP macro camera. For selfies, we get a 13MP camera with f2.2 aperture. As for display, it is a pretty large 6.4-inch Max Vision AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution with a peak brightness of 700 nits. When it comes to performance, it sports a MediaTek Helio G85 processor with Mali G52 MC2 GPU. With up to 6GB of LPDDR4X RAM and up to 128GB of storage. When it comes to battery, it is powered by a massive 5000 mAh battery, supports fast charging and also comes with a 20-watt turbocharger inside the box. Now this is how the phone looks once we turn it on and set it up. Here's the home screen and here's the app drawer. There is literally no bloatware or any useless applications. This is pure stock Android. We just got an extra app from Moto, which integrates all the additional features offered by Moto, which I'll talk about in a minute. Now here's the about page. This phone is running Android 11 right out of the box with August 1st security patch. By the way, this phone is also assured to get Android 12 and 2 years of security updates, which is definitely a great thing. Now as for storage, out of that 64GB of space, we get about 47.78GB of space for our user apps and user data. For a normal user or a light user, it's definitely more than sufficient. But if you're a heavy user who takes a lot of pictures or install a lot of apps, this 47GB of space might not be sufficient for you. Now here's the camera interface. By default, it opens the rear camera in the main photo mode. We also got the toggles for the wide angle mode and the macro mode. On the left side, we got the video mode. On the right side, we got more options. We got a pretty similar interface even for the front-facing camera. Now these are some sample shots. Initial impressions, both the front and rear cameras are definitely pretty good. Now let's test the speaker. This phone just has a single speaker at the bottom, but with Dolby Atmos. Now here's a quick audio sample. Speaker loudness on this phone is pretty good. It's good enough for media consumption, and it's definitely great for ringtones and alarms. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. This phone actually has a rear mounted fingerprint scanner, which is pretty rare to see these days, and the performance is pretty good. It almost unlocks the phone within a second. And you also get a haptic feedback whenever you unlock the phone, which is definitely a pretty nice thing. By the way, haptic engine on this phone is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it is as good as the OnePlus phones or even the Samsung or the Pixel phones, but for a mid-range phone, I would say haptic engine on this phone is pretty decent and definitely better than the cheaper ones out there. Now we also got the face unlock feature on this phone. In good lighting conditions, face unlock works really fast, unlocks the phone within a second or two. Even in low lighting conditions, face unlock works really well. Once again, takes about a second or two. In complete darkness, it still works. Takes about 2 to 3 seconds to unlock the phone. Now here's the Moto app that I've talked about earlier. This is the only additional app that we get besides the rest of the Google applications. And we got everything related to customization, gestures that Moto has to offer on this phone. First, we have the personalization section where we can customize your phone, whether it's changing wallpapers or the theme. Next, we have gestures where we have all the Moto gestures from previous phones, like quick capture, where you can do a chop gesture to toggle the torch. You can flip the phone to quickly open the camera application or switch between the cameras, and a lot more gestures. Besides that, we also have the Moto display feature on this phone. We got peak display and attentive display, and we can also interact with notifications directly from the lock screen. So we got literally all the cool Moto related features on this phone. Now before I conclude, these are the benchmark scores. So guys, this is the new Motorola G31. This phone has pretty good cameras, bigger battery, fast charging, assured updates with pure stock Android. And this phone is actually pretty sleek and weighs around 180 grams, which is definitely a selling point for many people out there who wants bigger battery but with a smaller form factor and less weight. This phone also comes with a 6.4-inch AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution. And that's definitely something to take note of. Most of the phones in this price segment usually come with an IPS panel, and even if they come with an AMOLED display, they usually have a dewdrop notch. So in the display department, we are getting the best. Now when it comes to the audio department, this phone comes with Dolby Atmos. For the speaker, it is always turned on, and for headset, you can turn on or turn off the Dolby Atmos from the notification panel. For people who listen to a lot of music over headset, you will definitely notice a significant difference with Dolby Atmos on and Dolby Atmos off. So Dolby Atmos is definitely another selling point for this phone. By the way, we also got FM radio on this phone, just in case if you're a fan of that. So guys, if these are all the things that you're looking for in a phone under 15,000 rupees, I can definitely recommend you this phone. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video. With that said, this is Nikhil signing off. See you in my next video.